What's up guys, Hector here, and I want to do another American stereotype video for you. If you forgot, or if you haven't seen my other videos, this is where I take statements, comments, questions about American stereotypes or rumors, all that kind of stuff, either from comment sections in YouTube or from my Facebook page and Twitter, wherever. Just send them to me, and then I respond to them in my general knowledge, and then I'll also look up actual factual information and put it in the bottom section of the screen if I needed to add anything else. So let's get started. You have comically giant fast food dishes. That's not exactly true. Our fast food dishes are larger than most fast food sizes, I guess you can say, in the world, around the world, in other countries. But they're not really that much bigger than most Western countries. If you compare them to Eastern countries like China and Japan and stuff, their burgers are probably smaller. Well, they are smaller. I've seen some of them on my friends' Facebook feed in those other countries, but they really aren't that much bigger than European countries. Maybe a little bit, but not too much. But that's the general fast food places. There are some not really fast food places, but restaurants that specialize in having giant plates and stuff. It's almost a gimmick type restaurant sort of thing, that they will give you these giant, plates or huge steaks or whatever like that. But of course you're gonna have to pay a lot of money to get those giant amounts. So it's not like people all around just go to these places like that. You'd have to look for them, and they're not in every city. They're only in more populated cities, I guess. At least in my experiences. Alright, the next one says, you all have some case of collective geographic dyslexia. I kind of covered this before, but I wanted to go over it again really quickly. This is usually from certain people that think they know the position of every important country in the world or whatever, and they think if you don't know it, then you're stupid or something. But I bet if you ask any regular person in any country certain geographical questions or whatever, they're not going to know all these important things or the positions, world geography and all that, unless they really studied it. It's usually I'll give just a example that's not specific. I haven't had this happen to me, but let's say a person from Indonesia comes and is you don't know where Indonesia is? How can you not know where Indonesia is? But then you can ask them, do you know the positions of the 50 states in the United States? Exactly. I'm sure they won't. And, there are many countries in the world, and then some of the countries have states like us, or Canada has 4 provinces, and you might not even know the 4 provinces of Canada and the positions that they're at. But a lot of people just think that they know automatically. Oh, I know this. How do you not know this? And I think it's just a kind of snobbish way to look at things. Not everybody knows world geography that perfectly. I mean, come on. So ease up on America. Alright, this one is a really, really long one, so I'm going to have to read this. I've noticed a common ideological streak to do with obsession over the sanctity of private property, especially the home. The default attitude of leaving people alone when thinking or speaking about something, and thinking in terms of self-sustaining units as opposed to part of a community. Like how you all think of 18 to 21 as the ages where parental support should be severed or marginalized, how it's normal to only see the family on Christmas and Thanksgiving, etc. Alright, let's try and tackle this. I have noticed a lot of people, well, not a lot, but you hear from time to time people that want to just be self-sustaining and want to do their own thing. I think you can find this in pretty much any country around the world, but it's not like this all over the United States. As I say, the United States is huge. There are some people in certain countries, especially the states that are wide open spaces, and that they might own hundreds of acres of land, out in the middle of nowhere, so they like to be self-sustaining and stuff like that. But then there's some places that are just people packed together in small apartments in well-populated cities, and they're usually not like that. But they still like to be left, well, I don't want to say left alone. They like to have their privacy. They don't feel like they have to be part of the functioning, active community, or, well, functioning is probably a poor word. It's people like to be left alone in terms they want their own privacy. And there are a very small amount of people out in the middle of nowhere that like so much privacy that they want to be fully left alone, but you can't say all of the United States is like that. And it says like how you all think of 18 to 21 as the ages where parental support should be severed. Well, that's because in the United States, once you reach 18 years old, you're pretty much considered an adult. Legally, you are considered an adult in the majority of states and on the federal level, because there are some states in the United States where 16 is the legal age. But you're not legally allowed to drink alcohol until you're 21. So some people say you're not really fully an adult or whatever until 21. So when people, I would say this with anyone around the world, really. You grow up with your parents for all those years, and then you're finally, I'm an adult now, I want to go out and do my own thing. Not everybody is like that, but a lot of kids are like that, so they want to have some independence, But there are still a lot of people that are like, no, I'm cool at home, that there's too much responsibility out there that I don't want to tackle, I don't want to go get a job and pay bills and all that stuff like that, because that's what being an adult really is about. So I wouldn't say a lot of people do that whole parental support is marginalized or severed or marginalized, as you say in your comment. But also how you only want to see family on Christmas time and Thanksgiving. I wouldn't, well, of course you do want to see your family around Thanksgiving and Christmas because those are family events and you want to spend some time with your family. But as I said, when kids think that they're becoming adults around 18 to 21, they want to have that independence and they want to go out and do their own stuff, have their own lives finally. But of course, as people get older into their mid and late 20s, they realize that they weren't really fully adults yet. Well, by the whole sense, we can go all night and try and decipher the term adult. But as they get older, people usually do want to spend some more time with their family. Well, some people. It's a person-to-person thing, and I don't really think this is all just about American culture. I think you can find this pretty much anywhere around the world, because I know there are some countries that are really, really close-knit with families and stuff like that. And I wouldn't say America, most of the United States of America isn't really, I'm so in love with my family, or in love with my family, close-knit with my family. It's just depending on the family and stuff like that, I guess. I have met some people, though, that they would say, I wouldn't date anyone unless they were really close with their family, because I'm really close with my family, and that just has to be a thing. So, again, it goes from person to person, but I think that's my general consensus of that whole subject. I hope that answered the question, or comment, statement, whatever. Alright, so that's it for this video. And again, if you want to leave your own statement or question, comment, or whatever about American stereotypes and all that kind of stuff, just leave a comment below this video, or you can send me something on Twitter, or any of the other links in the description box, my Facebook page, wherever. And I'll try and get to them in a future American Stereotypes video. And I guess that's it. Like this video if you found this video helpful, or if you appreciated me responding to them. And subscribe if you want to see more stuff about America, stereotypes. I'm going to be doing some English lessons and holidays, cultural videos about the United States of America.